Today in this video, 10 of the most shocking deaths in Jujutsu Kaisen manga so far. Be with me until the end. Jujutsu Kaisen has never shied away from death or gore. It is a series that reminds its audience that no character is safe from death. As the manga continues, the death toll of beloved characters continues to rise. With each subsequent chapter, many fans wonder if anyone will make it out of this series alive. Of course, not all deaths in Jujutsu Kaisen are equal. Obviously, main characters will tend to be given more impactful send-offs than supporting characters. Yet, some deaths are more shocking than others. The send-offs for these characters can be gruesome, sudden, and very unpleasant. The aftermath of these losses is sure to stick in fans' minds for decades after its conclusion. 10. Megumi Fushigiro's Divine Dog. Though not a major character, the death of Megumis Divine Dog was the first sign the story would be taking a turn toward dark and shocking deaths. Up until that point, Megumi's two divine dogs had been his first line of defense against his opponents. The divine dogs were very strong and also very adorable. Just a scene before, Itadori and Nobara had been cuddling and petting the white dog, showering it with praises. Seeing its decapitated head on the wall was a genuine shock that caused many fans to feel grief. 9. Yuji Itadori. It is unusual for a series to kill its main character. It is even more unusual for the main character to be killed within the first few chapters. Yet, Jujutsu Kaisen did just that, having Sukuna rip out Itadori's heart and killing him once they switched places. Itadori's death was as gruesome as it was shocking. Sukuna showed his lack of care toward Itadori as a vessel and also put Megumi in a bind with just one move. Even though Itadori was later revived by Sukuna, this major death reminded viewers that nobody in the story was safe. 8. Jumpoli Yoshino. Junpei's story was ultimately a tragedy in the grand scheme of JJK. He had been bullied horribly and relentlessly and then was unfortunate enough to come across one of the most powerful curses, Mahito. Junpei was led on by Mahito and used as a pawn. It was Mahito that led to the death of his mother, tricking Junpei into causing havoc in his school. The moment Junpei realized he'd been played, Mahito touched his soul and turned him into an abomination. Junpei cries for Itadori to help before dying a sudden and painful death. 7. Ricka Orimato. Ricka's death had already happened by the time of the events of Jujutsu Kaisen 0. However, the story flashes back to it and references it through dialogue and visuals multiple times. The nature of her death may be mundane compared to the more fantastical methods seen in the series, but it is no less shocking. The blood oozing from the pavement, inching toward Yuta in the flashback and turning into the special grade curse makes for a horrifying image, both for Yuta and the audience. Ricka's head is always cut off when viewing her, reminding viewers of her gruesome demise. 6. Taji Fushiguro. Taji Fushiguro had not one, but two shocking deaths. The first death came at the hand of a young Satoru Gojo, who used his curse technique to literally erase part of Taji's body, effectively killing him. Taji was later revived in the Shibuya arc due to Ogami's curse technique. For the entire battle, Taji was always one step ahead, taking out his enemies with ease. Had he not gotten his memories of Megumi back, he would have killed him. Instead, he made the shocking decision to take his own life and that of his host body right in front of Megumi. 5. Kenton Army. Kenton Army is one of the strongest sorcerers in JJK and a well-loved character by many fans. His status as a dearly loved character makes his death even more shocking. Throughout the events of the Shibuya arc, Nanami was constantly worn down by the multitude of strong enemies. However, what sealed his fate was his encounter with Mahito. Nanami is resigned to his death, wishing for more but knowing he will not survive to see it. His last words to Itadori are heartbreaking in their simplicity before he is taken out by Mahito. 4. Masamichi Yaga. Masamichi Yaga ended up taking the blame for the devastating Shibuya incident once the dust settled and was sentenced to execution. The principal of Kyoto Jujutsu High and a higher-up member, Gakuganji ends up cornering Yaga and fighting him. Yaga is unceremoniously executed after he refuses to give Gakuganji information. The most heartbreaking part of this killing is when Panda sees Yaga's beaten and bruised body. The eccentric doll-making principal was executed right in front of his son, marking a further downward spiral into darkness for the series. 3. Mazenin. Mei and Maki were constantly looked down upon by the patriarchal Zenin clan for their lack of strong cursed abilities. Tensions within the clan caused the twins to have a falling out. In the end, it was at the hands of her own father that Mei ended up dying. Despite their fraught relationship, Maki tried to save her twin, but she was unable to. With a last parting gift, and a request to take the Zenin clan down, Mei died. Maki heeded her sister's words and massacred her entire clan. Maki vowed that Mei's death would not be in vain. 2. Mahito. Mahito eventually reached the end of his rope in the Shibuya arc. Itadori's rage at losing Nanami and potentially losing Nobara caused him to back Mahito into a corner with the help of Aoi to do. For once, the powerful curse was on the fence during the fight, beaten back by the combined force of Tado and Itadori. Mahito was left in such a bad state that Kenjaku was able to use this against him and absorb him, effectively killing him. Mahito had finally gotten his comeuppance after causing Itadori so much suffering, being defeated by Itadori and betrayed by Kenjaku. 1. Yukitsukumo. Yukitsukumo was one of the most powerful sorcerers in JJK. As a special grade sorcerer, she was just as powerful as Gojo, if not more, which is why her sudden death was so shocking. Yuki's curse technique gave her the power to manipulate mass. As a last stand against Kenjaku, she decided to sacrifice herself and turn into a black hole in order to stop him. Unfortunately, her sacrifice was in vain, as Kenjaku had the ability to counter it. Her death ultimately did nothing except take her out of the picture. Thank you for being with me until the end of the video. Like and be sure to subscribe.